Solid waste has been one of the major causes for environmental crisis. There's no denying that we are the biggest contributors to these. We dump our waste everywhere, but of course not all people do that. Some just let garbage bins spill out. Some even leave it out in the open. To get rid of it, some resort to burning, which is not really a viable option. To reduce the waste coming from our households, a measly percent of people do recycling. Recycling is the process of collecting and processing materials that would otherwise be thrown away as trash and turning them into new products. So I made a list of recyclable materials that I found inside my family's home. Number 1. Plastics. Plastics are one of the more common solid wastes. It is cheap and most manufacturing companies use plastics because of this reason. This is one of the more popular recyclable materials out there, but most plastics are not really recyclable. As I have scavenged around the house, I found some food wrappers lying around, but really I just ate out of it. There are many ways that you can recycle these guys. You can cut them into little pieces and make them into pillow stuffings, or you can sew them together into a mat. You can even make them into bags like this one. Plastic drinking straws are usually the popular material to be made into bags for profit. Water bottles and soda bottles, as I have seen, have been used by my aunt and mom as small gardening pots for the little seedlings. The larger gallons are also usually made into that for larger plants. Number 2 on the list are papers. Another solid waste that is usually made are papers. Usually the excess papers, I just collect them and paint over them. Sometimes I even make them into notebooks, like this one. Magazines and newspapers, I usually make them into decorations when I was a kid, like this one. I also use them in collages when I need them, so I usually just collect them. Number 3, biodegradable waste. Composting is nature's recycling service, allowing households to recycle a substantial amount of their waste, like our food waste, like vegetable peelings, fruit waste, eggshells, and any biodegradable materials like paper kitchen towels, tea bags, and many more. We can lessen our solid waste that come from our own households. So I even include these pencil shavings of mine since they are biodegradable and can be used as mulch for plants. Number 4. Wood. Excess wood that are a result of construction can be recycled and can be made into new things, like tables, small chairs, and an easel that my dad built for me. Rather than burning it or letting the termites bite their way into it, why not just make a useful thing out of it? And lastly, number 5, textile and clothing. Most households here in the Philippines, as I have seen, have been using old clothing and sewing them together to make mats and rugs for cleaning. This is one way of recycling it instead of throwing it away. You can even customize old clothes like on the internet. You can even make them into blankets, like this one. So that's the end of the list. So you can go ahead now and scavenge your own households for recyclable materials like these ones, or other ones that can be recycled.